また夜が明ければお別れ夢は遠き幻にあなたを追いかけていた光の中で抱かれるたび暖かい風を頼り
What is going on, my ultimates? It's Blazer67 here. Welcome back to another episode of 999 9 Hours 9 Versus 9 Doors. So let's go ahead and get this episode started of 999, shall we? So we are back in this bathroom. We need to get the heck out of here at this point because we've been in here way too long. So we got the thermometer, we got the broom, we got the toilet paper. And before we start this episode, if you would like to hit that subscribe button down below and join the ultimates, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, please, and thank you. And become one of my ultimates. Alright, so, ultimates, let's see what we got to do. I think we already messed with this, right? Oh, no, we didn't. Yeah, this is what we were doing in the last episode. Not really sure, like, how we're supposed to do this. If we're supposed to like turn these a certain way or just leave them alone in general. Maybe we could, let's just mess around with them for a minute. Let's do that left. Like that. Right, left. What does this paper say again? The pipe on the right here must be connected to the drain in the middle of the room. If you turn on the water here, it'll probably come up through the drain. Well, how do we turn the water on? Come on, Seven, help me. Well, this doesn't look like it's doing anything. Did that do anything? Really hot water comes out of the shower. I get the feeling it might still be useful for something else. Well, we already used it for... We already grabbed what was in here, right? Looks like there's a key card in there, but I can't reach it. Let's see. Can you do it with the broom? I still can't reach it even with the broom. I don't think the toilet paper is gonna do much. Come on, man! I said I already checked them! Like, you don't trust me? No, I don't trust you. You're a jerk. You're a jerk, Santa. Cause like, look at this right here. It says LLR. An old message written in blood. It says LLR. Like, what does LLR mean in this? Does it mean left, left, right? Maybe. There's a light switch right here. Oh crap! What the? What does the light switch do necessarily? Alright, if I back out of it, I turn the light switch back on. A wooden box. There's something in here. Luminol. Oh, Luminol! What the hell is this thing? Some kind of spray bottle? There's something written on it. Can't read anything else. The label's all faded. Let me see that. He just grabbed it from him. That wasn't very nice. Oh, this thing right here? This thing Luminol. You know, forensic guys use it as crime scenes. Oh yeah? That stuff that glows blue when you spray it on a bottle or on blood, right? Even if the blood's been wiped off, it's still glow. Alright, so it'll still glow. We already know we played Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. And we've played with Emma in that game. What if I turn the lights off and then spray? Wait, you don't really think we're supposed to use the luminol here, do you? Yeah, it does seem kind of weird to use it here. But maybe I should try it just in case. You never know, Seven. Oh, what is this? LLR, LRL. Is that right? LLR, LRL. Is that what I have to do? Wait. LLR, LRL. Yeah, that's sweet. Well, I did what it said on the wall. I wonder if it actually did anything. Hey, this drain's acting up. What the hell did you do? I just messed with the valves a little. Nothing big. What do you mean by the drain's acting up? Alright, it's still saying this. Is it this thing? Oh no, it's not that. What drain are you talking about, Santa? Oh, what the hell? Jumpy, the card is floating. Looks like the water floated the card up out of the drain. Sweet, that means I can grab it, right? The blue card is floating in the water. Can I grab it? The blue card is floating. I understand that. Must be water flowing through the pipe on the right. There's water pouring out of the drain. Oh shoot. Give me that key.
It's the blue key card.
This is, the symbol for Mercury, isn't it? There's an elevator right outside the big hospital room. I think that same symbol was on the card reader next to it.
That's right.
I guess that means we're not supposed to use this card in this room.
Do you really think so? You don't think maybe we need it for this room and for the elevator?
Well, maybe we need it for both. I don't know. I mean, what do you think I am? I'm not some detective. All right, let's see what... Looks like the red light is off. Yeah, and it still says lock. What about if I use this key card? You think maybe we gotta disable the lock first? Yeah, I understand that. And disable locks first. Oh hey, the blue light just came on. Sweet. All right, so we need another key card probably? Is there another key card somewhere in here? I remember opening this toilet and then finding the 185 right here. Is that really it in this room though? There's gotta be more, right guys? There might be something in the tank, you know? Let's open that shit up. Oh, what the hell? Oh wait, is that a key card? Hey, there's something floating in here. Is that a card? Yes. A beautiful card, in fact. It's a rare card. Probably a key card. You remember if you saw a card read around here? Yes, I did. I did, Seven. I did indeed. Well, actually, can we go back in that tank real quick? What else is in here? That it? Alright, if the game says that's it, I guess. Alright, let's slide this. Where's my card at? There it is, blue key card. The blue light's on. I've just got to get the red light to turn on. We did. Wait, what? Oh, wait, we already slid the blue key card. We need the red key card.
Huh? The blue light was just on, but it's off now. And the red light's on instead.
I guess we have to swipe the red card first and then the blue card. Alright, so we swipe the red card first. And then let's do the blue card next. Sweet.
Great job, Jumpy. Both the lights are on now. Now you just need to put in the password.
Well, that's what I don't know. I don't know what the password is. What if I wrap the toilet paper around the broom? Broom wrapped in toilet paper, but what does this do? Oh! Oh, so you wrap the toilet paper around the broom, huh? Looks like the symbols line up perfectly. So it's 634 plus. 634 plus? 634 plus what? Alright guys, so basically inside of the thermometer, we had to use the screwdriver, open up the thermometer, then there was another code in there, which was 957. So 634 plus 957 plus 185 equals 1776, which is the year the Titanic sunk, right? Either the sunk or was created, one of the two. Both lights are on. You should be able to enter the password now. What's with these E and C keys? E means enter, and C means clear, I think. So after you put in the password, hit E. If you screw it up, hit C. Yeah, haven't we seen this? Oh, wait. That was in the last playthrough, that's why. So 1776. E. Woo! We did it! Let's go! Perfect. Perfect. I love it, I love it. Alright, so now the door's open. Now we can get our black behinds out of here. You found it. Yo, that is the most satisfying noise that you could ever hear after finding a way out. I just love this game. Outside of the shower room was a hallway that extended off to the left and right. At the right end was a large iron door. They'd moved a few steps toward the door when Junpei heard the sound of metal on metal. Oh, not that again. That's not a good sound. They turned around. Seven was doing something to the door of the shower room. What are you doing, Seven? Well, I figured maybe we want to come back here sometime. I'll slide the broom in there to keep the door from shutting. Alright, let's go. Why does it keep doing that? With that, he stood up and began walking down the hallway. He brushed past Junpei and kept going. After a moment, the rest of them followed him. Before long, they found themselves at the large iron door. They had only been there for a moment when June spoke up.
Jumpy, look around.
He turned. There, on the right side of the hallway, was a piece of paper attached to the wall. Junpei ran over and peeled it off. It's a map of the ship's interior. It said C deck in the upper left corner. From what he could tell, it was a map of the floor they were already on. There would be a time to look at it later. Junpei folded the map and stuffed it into his pocket. Okay. Back at the door, the four of them lined up in front of it. Santa stepped forward. He grabbed hold of the door and then turned to look back at the rest of them. Ready? I'm gonna open it. They nodded. Santa nodded back and threw the door open. All four of them leapt through. It took only a moment for them to realize where they were. They had been there only a short time ago. Oh, we're back! It was a large hospital room filled with countless beds. Lotus and Clover looked up as they entered. Ace was there as well, although he looked as though he had only just woken up. The moment they spotted Junpei, Lotus and Clover headed straight for him. As she neared him, Lotus drew back her hand. Oh, shit! Oh! Junpei, you got slapped! And slapped him, open palmed across the face. Come on, you had to know that was coming. How could you do this to us? Her face was furious. She grabbed Junpei by the collar and shook him violently. Clover didn't touch him, but the hate in her eyes was no less potent. It was Seven who stopped them. Knock it off! We got bigger shit to worry about right now. This deep voice echoed across the massive room. Lotus glared at Seven, but let Junpei go after one last vicious shake. What? Go have a look. I stuck the screwdriver in the door. That door over there. The one without a number. So long as the screwdriver's there, it can't shut. So you can get in there. Seven also explained how they might find the shower room and how he used the broom to ensure that door remained open as well. Then you're saying we can go in there without passing through the numbered door? Yeah, that's about the size of it. What the hell is this in there? You'll know when you see it. Lotus and Clover looked at one another for a moment, then nodded and stepped through the door. By then, Ace had made his way to them, moving with the stiff, shuffling steps of someone who has also just awoken from a lengthy slumber. My goodness. I know I said I was sure you'd come back for me. I didn't think it would happen so soon, though. Ace shook his head weakly. Should I go as well? Seven nodded. Very well. Ace followed Lotus and Clover with his stiff, tired gait. Oh, they're not gonna like what they saw. They're not gonna like what they're about to see, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, guys. So we are at the part where we basically had to skip all that stuff where Clover was scared and she was talking about Snake and stuff, that he had died and she was all shocked of his death. So now we're back at the elevators. We just used the Mercury key, so let's see what's going on now. 7 people, including Junpei, climbed onto the elevator. We're going nothing but down. There were only 2 floor buttons that could be pushed. The C and bottom buttons. The rest were destroyed or did nothing when pushed. Junpei hit the bottom button. The door closed. Slowly they began to move downward. Sometime later, all 7 of them stepped off the elevator and onto the bottom deck. They stepped off and saw that the hallway to their right ended somewhere between 20 and 25 feet from them. The hallway in front of them was a dead end, but not a regular dead end. This is a numbered door. Yeah, it's door 2. Immediately, they began to discuss who would go through it. Their earlier experiences had shown them that they would meet again, regardless of which numbered doors they took. As a result, there were no arguments this time. Instead, they concerned themselves with who would be sent in to investigate what was beyond the door. The first to volunteer was 7. Junpei followed suit, which meant Lotus was, by default, the 3rd member. 5 plus 7 plus 8 equals 20. 2 plus 0 equals 2. Oh, we're already going into door 2 like it's nothing. Alright, we're taking off. Okay, please be careful. Jesus, you two are acting like you're married. You know that? June blushed. So did Junpei. Oh, the love is in the air! Let's go! Perhaps in an attempt to hide his emotions, he quickly turned away to pull the lever on the red. Alright, let's just get through that door and get to that dead. The door opened. As they'd come to expect, there appeared to be a short hallway on the other side. Alright, let's go! Lotus was the first through the door. 7 was next, and Junpei brought up the rear. Brought up the rear. Yeah. Brought up the rear. Fortunately, it took them only moments to find the dead. It had been placed just inside the room right next to the numbered door. Well, that's lucky. They gathered around it and quickly scanned each of their bracelets. That was easy. We already got the dead unleashed. It stopped. Yeah, it stopped. Junpei could feel his heart pounding against the inside of his ribs. 7 and Lotus were breathing hard and fast. It was the 3rd time they'd been through the process, but they had yet to grow accustomed to it. Not that Junpei wanted to. He planned to finish the game before he got a chance to let imminent death become commonplace. Junpei looked around again. It was a short hallway with 5 doors along the walls. There were 3 doors along the left wall, and a single one on the right. At the end of the hallway, the 5th door was covered by a thick metal plate. Junpei didn't think they'd be able to open it. After taking a look around the room himself, 7 spoke. Alright, let's get started. I think we probably better split up. You two okay with that? Yes, no problem. Sure thing. 7 nodded to them and stepped into the room closest to him. Lotus looked at the doors for a moment, then headed for the one in the center. I guess we're being completely split up? That kinda sucks. At last, Junpei was alone. Well, I guess I better get started too. He looked intently at the remaining 3 doors. Oh, there's so many doors, so little time. Why me, game? Why me? Dang, this game kind of rushed into the second door. Like, the first door wasn't that bad. Confinement room, front hallway. Oh man, this sounds scary. I do not like this part. All right, let's jump in, guys. Holy crap, this looks like super scary. What? What? All right. What the hell is this in the mirror? What the hell is this supposed to be? Like a drawing of a whirlpool or something. Well, if I had to guess, I'd say it's trying to look like water. Is there anything in here? There's a tile stuck in the drain. Can I grab it? There's a little tile in the drain. Doesn't look like we're gonna be able to pull it out of there. I have to use our heads on this one. All right, let's figure this thing out. Can I turn on the faucet at all? Huh? Looks like the water doesn't work. Doesn't matter how much 7 turns that thing. No water's coming out. Has the water been shut off from somewhere else? Guess we'll have to figure that out. What's this bed got? There's a dirty blanket on the bed. Man, this is a mess. It's not even a bed anymore. Can't say I'd want to sleep there. I agree with you on that one, 7. That bed's straight dirty. Illuminati. That's what the symbol represents. Symbol on the toilet lid, huh? It's a little fishy to me. It's a sun symbol, but it doesn't look like the ones on the doors. Yo, this looks scary. Damn, this door is pretty nasty to begin with, but the inside's even worse. Honestly, I'm amazed you could bring yourself to touch it. Ha! There's way nastier stuff out there in the world than a gross toilet. You're a real deep thinker, aren't you? really deep. What the hell? A toilet paper tube, huh? I seriously doubt I'm gonna need this for anything. But I take it anyway. Well, this part is thinner than the rest. In fact, this doesn't really look like it's part of the rest of this thing. This rod feels loose. Maybe if I give it a couple turns. Here we go. Can we take it? Ah! Hey, this is a screwdriver staff. It's missing a handle though. Even if we run into a screw that fits, we're gonna have a hard time of it without a handle. Well, if we can find a handle, maybe then it'll do us some good. True. So the rest of that isn't going anywhere, huh? So we need a handle. What the hell is this? Hey, this handle's pretty loose. Loose? Think it'll come off if you pull on it? Yes! It fell off. Huh? Look at this. That handle doesn't really fit on the string. Maybe it wasn't meant to be attached to it. Perfect. It looks like a silencer. Put it on there. So I just stick this metal rod onto the handle. Like so. We get that. Thank God it's the right kind of screwdriver for that screw. Awesome. We could totally use this. Damn. This screwdriver looks like a soldering iron. Think it's some sort of industrial grade screwdriver? Guess that doesn't really matter. Anyway, so as long as we got this thing, we can unscrew any Phillips screws we run into. Which might be that drain. So let's go ahead and get back to the drain and see if we can unscrew this. There's a tile stuck in the drain. There's no way we're gonna be able to pull it out. No, still can't. Guess we still can't do anything with it. No water comes out of this faucet if you turn the knob. Still can't get that tile. Darn. This chair's pretty old. Even if 7 sat on it, it'd probably break. Huh? You say so? Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Don't worry. Don't worry. I didn't say that you were fat or anything. I mean, what'd you say? Nothing. Nothing. Huh? What the hell? Not opening. Something up with this drawer. Don't trust it. Maybe I can unscrew it? I see some screws right there. Ah! Sweet. Got the screws off. Now we go open the drawer. Haha! There's nothing in here. Well, maybe the drawer is what we need. The drawer, huh? Alright, let's get this thing out. Where are we putting the drawer? Is this going in my pocket? Like, what the hell? There's a bump on the back. I wonder what it's for. Maybe there's a hole somewhere. Those bumps line up with it trigger a hidden switch or something? Hey, we've seen such weirder stuff. Doesn't seem that far-fetched. Very true. No, can't do anything with that. I took the drawer out of this desk. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and just take a guess that that's all we could find in here. So let's leave and go to the next door. What the hell? Somebody made some wavy blue lines on this mirror with blue paint. Is that a drawing of a blue scarf? No, maybe not. No. It looks like a river. This drain is kind of a weird shape for a drain. You think they made it that shape? For a reason, or just for fun? Does the water work? There's no knob on this faucet. There's no way we can get water out of it like this. If we could find a knob, or something that'll work as one, then maybe we should be able to get water to come out of this thing. That's a good idea. Where are we gonna find a knob? What the hell? A towel with the... Well, it looks like a towel. I have to wonder if the design means anything, though. Maybe you should consider what the design might be. Perhaps that'll give us a hint. So that's both of the mirrors. That's both of the images of the mirrors combined in one image. That bed looks cold. Pretty sure you'd freeze to death in the winter. Huh. Not Lotus. Her boobs give her warmth. No kidding. If I tried to sleep here, my skin would dry out in no time, and my nipples would get really hard. Well, I wouldn't blame that. Well, it's not like you're that young anymore. That shouldn't really matter. My, Junpei, aren't you lucky? It seems you'll die before you have a chance to grow old and hideous. I'm sorry, you're right. Dry skin is a woman's worst enemy. Gotta get that baby lotion, girl. Gotta get that Vaseline going. Now there's a moon symbol? I get it. This game is a shout out to Pokemon Sun and Moon! A moon? What a filthy, disgusting moon. Yeah, it's pretty filthy, but it's a precious hint. Let's remember it, alright? Will you touch this toilet for me? I refuse to touch this! I refuse! You will touch that toilet, girl, because I ain't touching it. What the hell's wrong with you? I don't want to touch it, ever! Sorry. We're not gonna make her touch it. This paper seems to be pretty old. Ew, how the hell can you touch that? It's horrible. Well, it's not like I've really got a choice, do I? It's not like I want to. Exactly. Just hanging from the wall. Well, if we're pulling the string, then it must be a toilet that flushes. Yeah, but the toilet probably doesn't flush anymore. So there's nothing suspicious about that toilet paper. What about this drawer over here? Wow, this one opens up pretty easily. There's nothing in the drawer. Yeah. At least not right, though. The handle on the drawer doesn't really fit, you know? It just looks messy. Why don't you take it out? What the hell? If I use the screwdriver on the screw on the center of the handle, maybe I can... Let's go! That's a knob. Well, that came off easily enough. It looks like a faucet handle. Yeah, it seemed a little weird to put it on a wooden drawer like this. I'm sure they made it look hard on purpose. With a shape like that, there's only one place it could go. In between my boobs. For real. All right, let's see. Let's put this knob on here. There we go. Sweet. The handle I got off that drawer fits into the faucet perfectly. I can turn the water on. Let's do it. Let us have water! Junpei, what are you doing? It's pretty obvious, isn't it? I'm running the water. I can see that. I'm asking you why you're just letting it run like that. Think about it, Lotus. This faucet didn't have a knob when we found it, right? What do you mean? Just watch. Anytime now. Hey! Water's filling up! Doesn't that just mean the pipes are clogged? Whoops. Let's turn it off for now. Okay, it's off. So, did anything change? The water stopped flowing. Thank you, Mr. Obvious. Junpei, I'm leaving this one to you, alright? Well, what the freak? This thing is totally filled with water. Well, we see that, Mr. Obvious. Alright, let's go back to the last room. What do we got here? Oh, and look at that. We got the tile. Sweet! So we got this tile. It's got these red, blue, and gray lines. What the heck does this stuff mean? Hell if I know. Why are you looking at me that way? Oh, sideways. Junpei put the wet tile into his pocket. He was about to turn away when... there was a noise behind him. He spun around to see Seven kneeling on the floor. His face was rigid and pale. Droplets of sweat covered his forehead. Hey! What's going on? You okay, man? He was concerned. He'd never seen Seven like this before. Slowly, the other man lifted himself to his feet on shaky legs. Yeah, I'm fine. Just got a little dizzy, that's all. His face was pale, and his breathing was heavy. Sweat was pouring off his face and staining his shirt. He was many things, but fine was not one of them. Are you sure? You don't look so good. Seven didn't answer. Half of his face was twisted, as if distorted by extreme pain, and his eyes were glazed. Finally he spoke. What am I doing here? What? His words made no sense. What are you talking about? We opened the number 2 door and walked in here. Don't tell me you forgot. No, that's not what I mean. He shook his head several times as if trying to clear something from it. It ain't much, but I think some of my memories are coming back. I think I've been here before. What? Huh? I said I've been in this room before. You were here? When? Why? How? Hey, yo, like, Nona. Suddenly, Seven was mumbling to himself. They were words Junpei didn't understand. Seven's hoarse voice trailed off, and Junpei couldn't make out what he said. What the hell was that? Seven's brow furrowed furiously, and he ground his teeth back and forth. He's right there. I feel like I'm this close to remembering everything, but I just can't. Seven stopped, frustrated. He pulled his hat off and ran a hand through his hair. Then suddenly, he looked up, his eyes wide. That's right. An experiment. There was some kind of experiment going on this ship. An experiment? What sort of experiment? They were trying to control people. Or something like that. Junpei didn't know what to make of Seven's story. Instead, he simply stared as Seven continued. Hiyoi, Light, and Nona. Those were their names. Well, some of them. The kids that were there. In the experiment, I think there were 4 or 5 more. But I don't remember all their names. Huh? Yeah, that's right. That's why I'm here. Seven began to mumble to himself and wander aimlessly about the room. He looked confused. So far as Junpei could tell, the man was simply rambling and there were odd twitches to his movements. Experiment. Cradle Pharmaceutical. Those kidnapped kids. Was I working that case? Seven continued to mumble to himself about things that meant nothing to Junpei. That case? What is he talking about? Was he like a detective or something? Junpei didn't have any answers for him. Of course. He couldn't understand what was happening to Seven. All he could do was wait. After a few minutes, Seven finally stopped. He crouched down and looked under the bed. His face registered mild surprise and began to mumble to himself again. The hoe's gone. Or maybe it was a different room. There's gotta be a ton of rooms on this boat that look just like this one. At last, Junpei could contain himself no longer. Hey, what exactly do you remember? Well, maybe you could stop talking like a crazy person and tell me what's going on here. Seven stood up slowly. Well, it's not like I remember anything, everything. I've only got bits and pieces, and they're scattered, and I don't make much sense. I don't care. Tell me the bits and pieces then. Junpei could feel it. Whatever Seven had remembered, it was important, very important. Seven drew a large, muscled hand down across his face. As he wiped the sweat from his brow, he spoke. From what I can remember, I think I was a cop. A cop? Wait, what the heck? Seven was a cop? So he was like a cop or a detective or something? Yeah. I was looking for that group of kids that got kidnapped 9 years ago. You remember that, right? It was all over the news. Yeah. I was still in school. I don't remember all the details, but I do remember some of it. I think it was a bunch of kids right around my age. They all just disappeared. Nobody knew why. It was all over TV and the newspapers every day. So you're saying you were investigating it? Yeah, that's what it looks like. I guess I found something. There was this medical company called Cradle Pharmaceutical that had something to do with those kids. After I figured that out, I managed to get some information out of somebody who worked for them. They told me a ship would be leaving that right, with all the kids on it. They were going to be taken to some kind of big passenger ship somewhere out in the ocean. Oh, look at Seven! This boy looks like a boss! And so, Seven had headed to the wharf. He kept to the shadows, and before long found the suspicious ship he'd been looking for. This dude looks like a G, look at him! There were a number of human shapes moving near the ship. They were men in black suits. The men in black. Many of them were carrying large bags onto the ship. What are those, kids? The bags? There was something about the way they moved as they were carried. There could be no mistake. There were human beings in those bags. He had moved before he even realized he was going to. Out of the shadows he came, his gun already in his hand. He heard the words, "Don't move!" But they weren't his. He felt metal touch the back of his head. "Drop your gun," came the cold voice from behind him. With the words, he felt the cold metal thing behind him press against his skull. Slowly, Seven crouched down and laid his gun on the ground. Then suddenly, he felt a sharp pain in his neck. A needle. Was it some sort of drug? Yo, this is like the least likely thing I ever would have thought Seven would have been. This is crazy. As he was thinking about it, Seven felt his face hit the cold concrete beneath them. He could feel the chill of it seeping into him. What the heck? Damn it. Shit, my head hurts. Seven woke up to find himself lying on a hard floor. He twisted his neck to peer around the room. Where am I? There was a small, shabby bed and a dirty sink. A toilet with no stall or privacy of any sort. As a cop, it was a place Seven had seen all too often. I'm in a cell, huh? Opposite the toilet was a door set into the wall. Seven struggled to his feet and hobbled toward it. He gave the door a good shove, then another, then tried pulling it. Fuck! It didn't open. Well, that was about what he expected. It wasn't likely that someone would put him in a cell only to leave it unlocked. He threw himself against the door a few times, but to no avail. I mean, it could always be like Final Fantasy VII, where Cloud woke up and the door was just magically open because of Sephiroth. I mean, hey, you never know. I knew it. Seven grumbled to himself as he moved back toward the bed. He sat down. He sat there for a very long time. Just how long? He wasn't sure. At last, he began to nod off and had nearly fallen asleep when he was aroused by a distant voice. Day's over. It's 9. The voice was far away. Very far away. Seven couldn't understand what it was saying. Nonetheless, it was a voice, and a high one, most likely a child. His eyes shot open. As he listened, he could pick out several different, distinct voices. There was at least 5 or 6, possibly more. Where were the voices coming from? He looked around the room, frantically. Perhaps the door? No, that wasn't it. What? Go out! Was it coming from the left? Was it coming from under the bed? He grabbed the bed and flipped it up with ease. Damn! This boy turned into the Hulk! There it was. There was a hole for ventilation in the wall where the bed had been, covered with a metal grate. Seven lay down on his stomach and peered through the grate. He couldn't see anything. It was too dark. Now that he found it, however, there could be no doubt this was the source of the voices. For a moment, he was confused. Why were there children nearby? Then he remembered what the man from Cradle Pharmaceutical had told him. How a ship would take the kidnapped children from the wharf to a waiting passenger liner out in the ocean. Was Seven on that passenger liner? It didn't matter. What mattered was that he find a way to the children. Seven looked at the metal grate. Could he fit through that hole? Heck no, not from what I'm looking at. He stuck his fingers to the grate and grabbed hold of it. Yeah, how'd you like that, you son of a bitch? A dark square sat open before him. Seven wiped the sweat from his forehead and crawled inside. Yo, I love Seven now. After seeing this, I love Seven. Junpei waited for Seven to resume his story. The longer he waited, however, the clearer it became that Seven had no intention of doing so. He had gone silent and simply stared off into the air, his eyes blank. Hey, what happened after that? He waited long enough, but Seven shook his head. I don't remember what happened the other day. I think I found some kind of door out of the duct. And I think I found some kids too. Oh man, why can't I remember what happened next? Oh man, what happened to the kids, Seven? Did you save them? I don't know if it was me. I just got this feeling. I think one of the kids died. A girl, I think. Huh? Deep in his heart, Junpei felt something very cold. Seven's head dropped, and Junpei saw on it a look of sadness, the likes of which he had never seen on the man before. The large man's eyes blinked rapidly, as if he were fighting back tears, and he swallowed hard. His sigh was like the melancholy setting of an old, abandoned building. He shook his head and spoke. Anyway, just please don't ask me anymore, okay? I really don't remember anything else. After that, Junpei could hardly try to force any answers out of the other man. There was nothing more he could do. Instead, Junpei turned his mind to trying to make sense of what Seven had told him. The children had been kidnapped 9 years before. Apparently, a company called Cradle Pharmaceutical had been behind the kidnappings and had taken the children to the ship they were on now. They had been brought to the ship for an experiment. Something to do with controlling human beings, Seven had said. The 16 children who had been kidnapped were the subjects for the experiment. Seven had said 3 of the names were Ayawi, Light, and Nona. That was the new information. He had also learned that Seven was, or had been, a police officer. Well, he had to be a detective. Like, police officers wouldn't do all that. Still, there was little he could do with this new information. He learned nothing about the nonary game or Zero. He had no idea why they had been brought to the ship that had been the site of those experiments 9 years before. Junpei couldn't figure out what Seven had said the purpose of the experiment had been. To control human beings. Could such an absurd experiment really have been conducted? Before long, Junpei realized he had spent quite some time deep in thought. No time for that, he chided himself. He had work to do. Junpei shook his head quickly to clear it and returned to his investigation, thoughts swirling in his mind.
Hope will never die!